Every time you're using the old banking system, you're voting yes for violence. You're saying, yep, here's my vote. I want to stick with some fiat, and I'm going to keep voting for this corrupt, evil system to thrive, and I'm going to feed it.
DJ Valerie B. Love is the host of the Bitcoin for Peace podcast. Valerie is an entrepreneur, DJ, mom, and spiritual seeker who's co-founded several nonprofits and a lending company. All these diverse experiences have brought her to Bitcoin. For the last several years, she's been an advocate for sound money and is a truly remarkable force in the Bitcoin industry. In this episode, Valerie shares her insights on how Bitcoin can foster global harmony, reduce conflict, and promote truthful education and peace. Valerie unpacks how Bitcoin can be a catalyst for profound positive change, and why she believes it's a vital tool for creating a better future. Get ready for a unique conversation that blends finance, spirituality, and a deep commitment to promoting global peace. But before we do that, I want to introduce our sponsors, Stampseed, the Orange Pill app, and Swan. Our partners are businesses and people that we respect and our products that we at Bit Intelligence personally use. You're watching 21 Voices.
You know, the Woodstock generation had it right that, like, we need to use words, we need to use gathering, we need to use consciousness evolution to change so that we can create a better planet. I was always like trying to figure out, like, oh, if we just meditate enough. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher and meditation teacher. And like, if we just do all those things, we're going to have this great world. Everything's going to be okay. But then I recognized, like, you're just like filling up a hole, you know, a bucket that's got a hole in it. And it's the sound money that was missing, I think, in this whole equation of trying to change the world. And if and when we get on a Bitcoin standard, we still need to be excellent human beings. And even if we're excellent human beings, we need to have sound money. And if we don't have those two connected to each other, we're going to just be, again, just filling up. And it's never going to create this whole world that I think can be filled with possibility for people. It occurred to me 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, when I started learning about Bitcoin and what the difference was between Bitcoin and crypto, and why Bitcoin is a superior tool for peace after, you know, listening to Alex Gladstein. And this is like a peaceful protest that's on the side. Like Bucky Fuller talks about building the parallel world, right? And it's like, that's the only way we're going to get to this new world. We can't, it's too toxic and corrupt in this current system, I think, for us to get in and try to change it. You just have to kind of wipe the slate clean and start fresh and build something new. So I think that's what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin for Peace is really the ultimate goal, because a lot of us talk about freedom money, you know, and that Bitcoin is a tool for freedom. It's a freedom technology. Well, why do we want freedom? Because we want to live inner and exterior peace. We don't want to live in a place where we feel subjugated to someone else's will. We don't want to feel like prisoners, and we want to feel like safe. We want to feel at ease. You think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. To me, freedom is a tool and peace is the goal. Peace is our ultimate goal as humans, you know, and not that we're going to have peace every single day and just be Buddhas all the time. We're going to have stress, we're going to have struggle, but the ultimate human experience and expression of our human experience, if we can do it in a place that promotes that expression, because we have the freedom, that is very, very important to me. And so I feel like combining, you know, the best of all of these worlds from a creative perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from a lens of sound money, which is Bitcoin, I think we can achieve these goals. I don't think we're going to have utopia. I think people will still fight. I think we're still operating from our primal brain back here. So it's going to take time for that evolution to happen. But if we don't have that sound money, we can never get to the state of consciousness as a human race. On a Bitcoin standard, if and when we could ever get to a Bitcoin standard, which would be amazing, you know, two things I think could change. We're not going to have let's go print $100 billion and send it over here to XYZ country so that they can go put it back into the military industrial complex, print some bombs and rinse and repeat and keep that forever war going. Because if you have that scarce resource, Bitcoin, you're going to be more careful and diligent about where are we going to go deploy this capital? If you play Monopoly, the game of Monopoly, and you play it the right way, you're just going to have a fixed supply of money. And nobody really has an advantage. But if you have a bank, the banker who can just go take some sheets of paper and go, I'm going to go print some 500s over here. Like, that's what's happening. That's literally what's happening to our money supply. And so these bankers, these central bankers, have the ability to go take whatever they desire and go put it wherever they think is, going to benefit them and their interest rather than the people. And this leads to the chaos that we're seeing right now. I think a lot of people don't really equate that. They think, cool, we're going to go raise our signs and we're going to go protest or we're going to do this. But if this money machine's just rinse and repeat, you're going to lose as an activist and as a peace lover and as somebody who loves humans and wants us to thrive and survive together, And so I think that's such an important thing for us to remember.
Please bear with us for a quick message from our sponsors. These videos take a lot of time to make, and we've partnered with brands we trust like Stampseed and the Orange Pill app in order to get the funding we need to bring you these videos every week. Don't store your Bitcoin in cold storage without stamping your seed phrase on an indestructible titanium plate. Stampseed is fireproof, rust-proof, impact-proof, and easy to hide. It has no loose parts and will give you ultimate peace of mind that your Bitcoin is safe and sound for the long term. Click the link in the description below for 15% off your stamping kit. When I finally got Bitcoin, it hit me like a lightning bolt. It was the currency of the future, the only money that truly mattered. But there was a problem. I didn't know anyone else that thought like me. That is until I discovered the Orange Pill app. Suddenly, I was connected with a network of like-minded Bitcoin enthusiasts, right in my own city. The Orange Pill app is more than just a social network. It's a community of passionate individuals determined to change the world, one Satoshi at a time. This series is brought to you by Swan and created by Bit Intelligence. Remember to like this video and subscribe to both our channels for more videos like this every week. Thanks for watching.
And I think educating anybody who's a mission-driven human, whether you're an artist, you're a creator, you're a nonprofit, you're a social impact entrepreneur, you're an environmentalist. So many people don't understand that, if you're building your mission on a toxic soil, only toxic things can grow, and they're not really even going to grow big. They're just going to keep dying. And I think that's what's happening, unfortunately. And we're seeing missions that are very important not get executed because of the financial situation that they're in right now. And they're stuck using dollars, or they're stuck using their local hyperinflating currencies. Every time you use the SWIFT system, every time you're using the old banking system, you're voting yes for violence. You're saying, yep, here's my vote. I want to stick with some fiat, and I'm going to keep voting for this corrupt, evil system to thrive, and I'm going to feed it. So every time we use fiat in any form, in any of these systems, we're feeding the vicious cycle of violence and oppression and authoritarianism. We have to make a better way for humans to coexist. I never really understood that money layer of trying to go, okay, cool, we're going to go do personal growth and we're going to go live our best lives and do art and share things with people. I didn't really get the money part. Back in the late 90s, I started a nonprofit with some other fellow Burning Man friends. And after we came home from Burning Man in the beginning, we were like, well, we got to do something. Let's keep this energy going, and let's keep the freedom train going and the self-expression train going. And so we started a nonprofit called Get 'em, Global Education Through Music. And we were doing after-school programs for kids in California. And our goal was to teach them about inner confidence, personal growth, through the lens of music, art, technology, and nature. And we didn't have the money in there. We didn't teach them about money. There's nothing about money. It was all like, oh, let's go do this, and aren't we confident, and da-da-da-da. Oh, gosh, I wish I would have known about money back then. There's so much work to do to educate the activists and the healers and the creators around the world. Your environmental missions, awesome. Let's go, save the koala bears. Let's, clean up the coral reefs. Let's do it. But again, if these folks aren't understanding sound money in addition to their missions, you're building a three-legged table. You're missing something that's very, very important. It's so crazy. I know. It's like, and then all of a sudden you get consumed because you realize like, oh my God, what else didn't I know? What other things was I blind to? What other things were misleading me on my journey towards a beautiful world? When you see truth, it's what we're seeking, right? All humans want to feel like we're seeing the truth. People hate to be duped. When you're duped, you freak out, right? Your ego freaks out because it's just like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be knowing what's going on and, protecting you and all these things. And all of a sudden, I realized I didn't do my job. And so the ego freaks out. And then it wants to push everything away that's actual truth because, then it's going to have to go, whoa, what else don't I know? How else am I not, holding the guard up in this person's life, right? And so when people are shown the truth, people will be shown like empirical evidence of something that contradicts their worldview repeatedly. And they still discard it and dismiss it because if they were to accept that as true, everything that they've built up to that point has to crumble. And when your worldview crumbles, it's mentally and emotionally and spiritually destabilizing. And some people cannot accept that they have to destroy their old worldview in order to embrace this new way of being. It's terrifying. You get a lot of pushback and resistance with people, and it's like the pickle jar. So sometimes it's just like, okay, we're going to try to open it now. Nope. Okay, let it go. Just keep at it, and the people who really crave the truth will get it, and they'll go through the hell of deconstructing their worldview so that they can form one that is more up to date with a new set of facts. I think we have to have a lot of compassion and empathy for everybody that we speak to, no matter where they are on the journey, including ourselves, because it's scary. It feels like you're going crazy sometimes. And me too. Yeah. Everybody needs to touch money in one form or another. This is one thing, in addition to air, that unites every human. Like, we have to do money. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this podcast thing over here in the Bitcoin world. And Camilla Campton, God bless you, your sister, she's just like, just do it, Val. Just do your first episode. Don't worry. Just pull the trigger, go. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been like wanting to meet and interview different people from different lenses and different perspectives to talk about Bitcoin. And it's been fascinating.
When you really start learning about all these things that are related to Bitcoin that have been altered by our broken monetary system, it can feel like a conspiracy theory. There's aspects of the world that until the existence of Bitcoin, people just accepted them for what they were, even if you understood the monetary system and the inherent problems with it. We have our first tangible solution with Bitcoin. And that's why it's so important for people like Valerie to go out there and educate as many people as she can, as many people as I can, and as many people as you can. So with that, stay tuned and remember to subscribe for the latest recaps, insights, and films about all things Bitcoin. This is 21 Voices. If you want to watch another episode, try this one here.